Good evening, masters of leather. I don't always oil, but when I do, I prefer a sponge. Tonight we're talking about oiling our projects and how to keep the coats nice and even without spotting. The best result is to use a circular motion with a light, even application of oil across the entire project. 2 tips for you. 1, I prefer to leave the taping on the back of my project until after I've oiled. Thus, oil doesn't get on the back side of the piece, causing dark spots from underneath. Also, keep some paper towels or a towel handy to wipe off excess oil that remains on the surface of your project that will stain and make a darker spot, leaving it uneven. Oil doesn't really matter. Whichever oil you prefer to use is best. I prefer a Neat's Foot oil compound or pure Neat's Foot oil. And I like to start off the project and work across the whole thing evenly in nice, even, light coats. When it comes to working around our tooling, it's necessary to squeeze a little excess oil, just as we would antiquing, down into the background and then blend it into the rest of the piece. After I've gone across the entire piece and have worked the oil well into my tooling, I take my paper towel or towel and I wipe off the excess oil that remains in the cuts and the grooves of the tooling so that it doesn't leave those nasty little dark spots later on. Let this sit overnight for 24 hours to even out and disperse across the entire project. If you decide it needs another coat, at that point, apply another one. As you can see on the back around the edges, the oil does have a tendency to seep in through the edges of our leather. These spots will saturate solid all the way through, leaving that area of border much darker. So be careful not to get it on the back, and always have another place to let it dry different from where you oiled your piece. These are some tips to apply to your technique of oiling your projects for better end results. Good night.